Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
And then flash into a gameplay segment, then flash back to bike riding, then
All
flash back to gameplay.
Without watching the whole video, because we're not going to watch the whole video, all right? What are everyone's opinions on Scott the Woz?
Well, since you asked, DSP, I'll gladly tell you that I quite enjoy a Scott the Woz video. I don't watch him now nearly as often as I used to, but there was definitely a chunk of time not that long ago where I was watching a lot of Scott the Woz videos. I think they're really well put together and he makes me laugh. But knowing you, DSP, I'm sure that you have something negative to say because you can't say a positive thing about any other content creator in the history of the internet. I really do struggle to find a time that you have ever complimented another content creator.
All right? Honestly, I feel editing skills, decent. His commentary, decent.
Bold of DSP to say that somebody else's editing is just decent. The dude hasn't actually edited a video in literally years. And when he did it, it was always god-awful. He did things the strangest way possible. Often not even resizing images during editing or overlaying things properly at all. And the audio balance was always pretty egregious as well. But of course, what can you expect from a guy whose entire shtick is that he does raw, unedited gameplay, as if that's some sort of category that people are actually looking up and wanting to see. Not only does every single Scott the Woz video have a better pace than your videos do, DSP, but his jokes are also funnier and done with better delivery than anything that you have ever said. So again, it's really bold of DSP to say that his commentary is just decent.
Everything decent. But I would say, I mean, this is a 6-year-old video. For 6 years ago, do you think this video warrants 3.6 million views on YouTube? What is special about the video exactly?
DSP is always so jealous when he talks about anybody else. It's amazing, isn't it? But if that's a genuine question from DSP, why this video got 3.6 million views, there's a couple of factors that go into play, and I think it really is only a couple of factors here. The first one being people actually enjoy Scott the Woz's content. His content is fairly decent all the time. It's very consistent, and people do genuinely like the guy. There's no problems with him whatsoever. If he's not your style, he's not your style, that's for sure. But for most people, he's inoffensive and comes off as a genuinely nice person who does funny content and is enjoyable to listen to. He also routinely breaks 1 million views on his videos, so him hitting 3.6 on one of these videos is not absolutely absurd of at all. Hell, just 5 months ago, he got 3.3 million views on the Wii U video he did. So 3.6 isn't exactly out of the realm of possibility for him. The video is also 6 years old, so it's had plenty of time to get the amount of views that he's seeing right now. And the final factor, as far as I'm concerned, is the title of the video is the worst games of all time. Now, that is kind of clickbait, and plenty of people have done videos like that before, but you know a lot of those videos do just get a lot of views. So when you combine all of those things, no, I'm not surprised at all that this video has 3.6 million views if it was posted 6 years ago. That all adds up to me. DSP, you can be as jealous as you want that it was him instead of you, but none of your content has ever held a candle to a single Scott the Woz video.
What is he doing differently that makes him stand out? That makes him better than other people who do these kind of countdowns? Honest question.
Well, DSP, if you bothered to look anything up when you were actually asking a question, you would realize that he doesn't just do these style of videos at all. But of course, we're all aware that you're allergic to using any sort of search engine whatsoever, even though your phone is constantly in your hand. I know that's only for WWE champions.
Double M says, entertaining videos but flat humor. Even his recent videos are flat. Right? He's cool and chill. Not bad for 6 years ago, but sucks for now. It's called a personality.
Ooh, the dents got him with that one.
So here we go. I'm just asking questions. I'm literally just asking, what do you guys think? Right? Like, I don't see anything. Like, I'm watching this video. I can't point out a particular negative. Right? I can't. Like, I don't really see anything wrong with the video. At the same time, it's kind of bland to me. Like, to me, I watch this and I'm like, okay.
My first thought after hearing him say that is, well, DSP, how do you feel about your own content? What's your genuine reaction when you watch back your own content? But we've actually seen what his reaction is, because it seems like every single week on DSP Reacts, somebody sends him his own footage. And he has 3 different reactions to it depending on what it is. He either gives it the 1,000-yard stare and skips through it, because even he can't be bothered to watch his own content. He'll get embarrassed and start cringing and talking about how he would never do that style of commentary anymore and it's so dated, Or the third and final thing that he does is he turns on clown mode. Now this is the most obnoxious of the 3 if you ask me. He'll start obnoxiously laughing at his his own jokes that aren't funny. And the laugh is the fakest thing I've ever heard. But I think that the real point here is that 3.6 million people are allowed to watch an okay video. It doesn't have to be something extraordinary for it to get 3.6 million views. There's plenty of videos on this website with well over that, and they are also just okay. They're also mediocre videos.
So it's a countdown of the worst games on Metacritic. He's not really adding much commentary or anything unique that you wouldn't hear anywhere else. I mean, he could very well just be reading right off of Metacritic, right? Like, I wouldn't even know. And I don't know, like, I don't get it. What is it that makes these certain people popular? You know what I'm saying?
Charisma, comedic talent, interesting video ideas, in-depth knowledge on a subject, interesting takes on topics, a unique way of speaking, general likability, consistent uploads. These are just a few of the things that go into making these people popular, pretty much all of which you lack. But honestly, it is quite insulting that you're sitting here questioning why people do and don't get popular. Because honestly, it's none of your business. Whether it was because of something they did or if it was just the right time, right place like it was when you were popular. It doesn't actually matter. Based on what you say, the only thing that should matter is that they have an audience that is entertained and finds meaning in their content. So I don't know why you're sitting here and questioning why Scott the Woz is popular, or why anybody is popular for that matter. Aren't you DSP, the man who stands alone on his island of one who lives alone? Those were your words, not mine. Why does it matter to you any why other people are and aren't popular?
I'm curious. What made him become so popular? Because this is what happens is over the years, I just make my own content and I'm on my own business, right? I don't pay attention to everyone else on YouTube or nothing. You guys know that. I don't really give a shit, right?
No, DSP, you're lying, or at least only telling half of a truth here. Because while you might not pay attention to other people and might not give a shit half of the time, the other half of the time you absolutely care. It gives you something to complain about. You see a headline and you pick up on it and you just have to talk about it. And then you act like you know everything about the subject, like you're an expert or something.
And then other people just become popular. Like, everyone knows Scott the Woz. Scott the Woz, he's such a hot guy on YouTube. Scott the Woz, the next up-and-comer. Scott the Woz, millions of videos, or views every video he puts out and everything, right? And that's great, but what stands out about this? If you were to say, what is the defining factor that makes Scott the Woz good on YouTube, what would your answer be? This is the first video I'm ever seeing, and I'm saying it's solid. Like, it's a solid video to me. Like, it seems like it's solid editing, solid pacing, commentary is flowing, right? But what exactly makes him Mr. Popular?
Well, DSP, I would hope that putting out genuinely solid pieces of content consistently for multiple years is enough to make you Mr. Popular, or whatever you want to call him. I mean, he's not doing like Dr. Disrespect numbers or anything, but he does have a fan base and an audience that wants to see him because he is a likable, entertaining person who puts out solid content on a consistent basis.
Can anyone explain? I genuinely would like an answer. What do you guys think? Because this is the first video I'm seeing. He got big from Reddit.
Why does he have to say everything so strange? He got big from Reddit. This dude actually can't ever sound like a normal human being when he says things.
His recent videos are a lot more trippy. He likes to destroy stuff. It's more edited and animated. He made a whole YouTube movie around the reason he has a blue border around his videos. But what, you didn't answer the question, right? What is it that made Scott the Woz popular on YouTube? Why did he blow up? What about his videos makes him stand out and makes him popular? That's my question.
I'm honestly not sure what answer DSP is looking for and what would satisfy him at this point. Him making solid videos is not enough for DSP. Him making edited and animated content isn't enough for DSP. Getting popular off Reddit isn't enough. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why someone would bother bringing up the movie that he made about why he has blue borders on his video thumbnails, but to me that seems like a sign that he genuinely enjoys what he does and is having fun with it. And maybe that's the real answer. Maybe people can just see that Scott the Woz is having fun when he makes his videos, and that's why they find it so enjoyable. I know that's not something that DSP can necessarily relate to, but it does make a huge difference in the quality of content that gets put out.
I'll see if anyone else wants to. Literally, no one's answered it yet. So, see what I'm saying? Like, and this is the weird thing about YouTube. Like, you could look at stuff that's popular and be like, okay, so what is it? Why is it popular? Sometimes I swear things on YouTube get popular for either luck or popularity, or just the algorithm hits it, right? And the next thing you know, they're just popular forever. They never leave. With me, I never hit that level of popularity. I was popular for about 4 years on YouTube, but I never hit that level of like immunity. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a level on YouTube that when you hit that level of popularity, you'll never decline because you're so big, it doesn't matter.
I genuinely don't know who the hell he could even be talking about at this point. What YouTube content creator has ever gotten so big that they were immune to the fall off? They got literally immune to declining numbers at all. Because thinking of the biggest YouTubers from yesteryear, most of them don't even make content anymore, and if they do, they get a pittance of the numbers that they used to. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely content creators who have been around for a very long time and have held a steady fan base and audience, and their numbers consistently look great. But those content creators are still putting effort into their videos. They're still putting out content that their audience wants to see. They're still enjoying the content that they're making, and that, again, shows through in their content. It's not because they became immune to the fall off. That doesn't exist. That's never happened to anybody. I mean, who's talking about Ray William Johnson, Fred, or Ryan Higa? They used to be the biggest content creators on the platform, and they basically don't even exist anymore. Well, that's not exactly true. I know that Ray William Johnson still does content on TikTok, I think, but who actually cares? Come on now.
And if this guy has millions of subscribers and he's getting 3-4 million views a video, it doesn't matter what he does, he's going to be fine for life. You know what I mean? Like, he'll always be popular on YouTube. But what is it that made him stand out, that made him so popular? No one can answer, right?
DSP, there isn't just one answer on why he's popular. A lot of people like him for a bunch of different reasons. And people have given you multiple reasons in your chat, and you're just bypassing them, or you're reading them out loud and going, that doesn't make sense, I don't get it, what are you saying? This is just a waste of time segment because no answer is gonna satisfy you. Just move on. Quit shitting on content creators that you have no right to shit on.
His videos are more down to earth than most gaming content at the time, a more legit old school YouTube feel, and it blew up. Then someone says, oh, his popularity is his comedy and slapstick humor. You realize the two of you just contradicted each other, right?
I wouldn't say that necessarily. You can definitely have an old YouTube vibe and still also do comedy and slapstick humor. I mean, a lot of old YouTube videos were comedy slapstick humor, were they not? A lot of old YouTube videos are actually skits, aren't they? So DSP doesn't even know what he's talking about.
One person says, oh, he's just down to earth, he's a solid YouTuber. Another person says, oh, it's slapstick humor, over the top comedy. You don't, so the two of you who are fans can't even agree. Do you see my point about YouTube? Like, this is the weird thing about YouTube. There's things that are popular, no one can explain it, but it just is.
No, DSP, two different people explained two different aspects of a content creator that they enjoy. It's not that nobody can agree and nobody knows why this person is popular and what made them popular. It's because everybody has a different aspect of something that they enjoy. Two people who are into cars don't actually have to enjoy the same aspects of cars. One guy might like to race and go really fast in the car. That's his favorite part. But one guy might actually just like the specs of cars and working on them. He's like a gearhead. He likes to do mechanic style content. That doesn't mean that nobody can agree on why cars are popular and why people enjoy them. It just means that two different people like two different things about the same thing.
But everyone knows Scott the Woz, so we got to go watch this new video and give him 5 million, 7 million views. But no one even knows what's popular about him, right?
And DSP thinks that he's the smartest person on the planet. He knows better than everybody else. He acts like everybody is just some sort of sheeple that's just gonna watch whatever everybody else is watching because that's the popular thing to do, and that they don't actually enjoy anything that they do. They just do it because other people are doing it. And while those people definitely exist, and I would never deny that, it's absurd to me that he thinks that everybody is always doing everything just because it's popular, and nobody ever actually enjoys the things that they're doing except for him. He's the only guy that knows how to actually live his life without conforming to everybody else's interests.
YouTube's a weird thing, man, that's for sure. And again, I'm not saying a negative thing about him. I think the video is solid, but if you were to ask me, why do you think this video got 3.6 million views? I couldn't give you a single answer. There's tons of people on YouTube, the same level of quality, who don't get those views. Okay, let's continue.
Well, DSP, did you ever consider maybe it wasn't exactly this video that made Scott the Woz popular at all? And that maybe those 3.6 million views are a bunch of people just checking out his older content because they enjoyed his newer content? And maybe they didn't enjoy this video as much as the other ones, but they watched it anyway just to check out his old content. Did that ever cross your mind? Did you ever take that into consideration? Or did you immediately just launch into jealousy mode and want to talk about why you don't understand why he has as many views as he does and basically how it should have been you instead? Because that's exactly how this comes off. You didn't have to say that, DSP. Anytime you talk about another content creator, it always just sounds like you're jealous, like you wish it was you instead. Why don't people enjoy your content? Why do they enjoy this instead? And in case you couldn't tell by the title of the video, today is a double feature. So get excited to talk about something completely unrelated. Finally, we can stop talking about Scott the Woz now.
And by the way, I'll answer this because some people have been asking. Everyone's mentioning the shirts, right?
He said that some people have been asking and everybody's been mentioning the shirts. So is it some people or is it everybody? I'm already confused. And let me know who these people are because honestly, I'm sick of it. These shirt segments are god awful. Quit talking about your clothing, DSP. Nobody cares. You're supposed to be playing video games. I thought that's what you take pride in doing. That's the only thing you care about is your gameplay. And it seems like we get these goddamn shirt segments every day. I'm sick of it. Mods, you know what to do.
So basically, I have like two different kinds of clothing that I've been wearing in the fall. The first are like nice button-down shirts, right? And those are nice. They look nice. It's something you would wear out when you're going out or whatever.
Yes, if by going out you mean going out to the bowling alley on a Wednesday night. Especially that one from the other day with the vertical stripes. That's got to be one of the most hideous things that he's ever worn.
The other shirts I've been wearing are ones like this. This is actually a sweater from Uniqlo. I told you guys before I moved to Washington State, a store had opened up in my local mall in Connecticut. It was called Uniqlo. It's a Japanese designer clothing store. And at that point, I lived in Connecticut. It was very cold in Connecticut all the time, particularly during, the winter months.
And then he manages to sneak in talking about the weather in Connecticut. Who are you explaining that it's cold in Connecticut to? Who doesn't know that on the northern east coast of the United States during the winter, it gets cold? It's pretty self-explanatory if you live in the US. And if you don't live in the US, I don't know why you would give a shit. But that doesn't stop him from telling this story multiple times. Because this isn't the first time that he's told us this story about buying all of these shirts before he left Connecticut because he was preparing for it to be cold. I know that I haven't covered it specifically, but just because I don't cover things doesn't mean that they don't happen. That's why you should go watch Snort Hogan. This is a free plug for Snort Hogan. Or go watch live over on Raw Phil.
So I went there and I spent a lot of money. This is back in the day, when I had a lot of money. I was a YouTuber. I was making tons of money back then, not like today. And basically, I went there and I bought a whole wardrobe. I bought, I'm not kidding, 10 of these sweaters, right? And I bought like form-fitting shirts and all of this.
See, and I don't know why he wanted to tell this story again, because it makes him sound just as ignorant and bad with money as it did the first time. Because when he was making buku dollars on YouTube, he thought that it would be a good idea to go to a Japanese designer brand clothing store and buy an entire wardrobe. I mean, this guy sounds like an absolute baller. This is probably the same DSP that was filling his condo up with statues at the time.
Now, here's the thing. I didn't care how I looked. Back then, I wasn't on camera all the time, right? I didn't give a shit. So I just bought whatever I wanted to wear. I didn't care about what people would say about my looks or whatever.
Take note of what he just said. He just said that he wasn't on camera, so he didn't care about what he looked like because nobody was going to see him anyway, and he didn't care about his looks. Because it's going to be relevant here shortly.
Right? I didn't care. Now, here's the thing. Uniqlo, as you can see, is not thick. Look how thin that is. You see how thin this is? It's a very light sweater, but it is a specialized technology where it's very small threads, and it form fits to your body, and it's incredibly comfortable and soft and warm. It's all about comfort and warmth. That's what Uniqlo's about. They even have shirts that are very thin shirts. Excuse me. They have shirts that are very thin shirts, but they keep you warm. They call it heat tech or therm tech or something like that. It's a unique technology.
Again, this is not the first time he's told this story, and this is not the first time he's talked about therm tech or whatever. And every time he does, he sounds like such a dork. Actually, it's called therm tech, and it's a unique technology to keep you warm.
So, no exaggeration, right before I moved here to Washington State about 9 years ago, I bought a wardrobe of these Uniqlo clothes, right? And then I moved out here, and I changed everything. Everything changed. I started, only wearing t-shirts and stuff, because out here it's a lot warmer. It's more moderate weather out here than it was in Connecticut. In Connecticut, it was always super cold, snowy, icy winters all the time. And rather than having the heat blasting, I would wear clothes like this all the time to stay warm. So
long story short, you wasted a bunch of money on clothes that you weren't going to need because you were going to be moving shortly thereafter anyway, but you spent the money regardless because you're horrible with money. Glad we could clarify that. I don't know why it took you so long to say that. Oh, I know. It's because you had to find a way to talk about thermtech or whatever. Because for some reason, you just enjoy talking about it. It makes it sound like you actually know something about anything.
Basically, I had this wardrobe of clothes, all right? And some people are like, well, I don't understand because when he wears the button-down shirts, he looks good.
No, that's a hard disagree. I think the button-down shirts are terrible. You look stupid. You look like you're taking yourself way too seriously for the job that you have, which is an internet content creator. You look like you're about to go to a work event. You look like you're gonna go bowling with your friends on a Wednesday. You look like a single dad trying to impress the local cashier at the Fred Meyer. Moral of the story is you look too self-serious and stupid for what you actually do every day. I don't actually think there was anything wrong with just wearing t-shirts. If you're cold, you can wear a hoodie or something. I think that's what most content creators do anyway. They just wear casual clothes. I don't know why for you all of a sudden it was some sort of big to-do that you got dressed every day. And even then you don't even actually bother getting dressed because you still wear the jammy pants all the time. I mean, we wouldn't want to wipe the earwax on anything else. That would ruin those pants instead.
But then when he wears shirts like this, oh, it's not flattering or whatever because he actually has pecs.
No, DSP, you don't have pecs, not at all, brother. What you got going on there, they call moobs. Those are man boobs. You're looking just about as busty as Chris Chan right now. You might want to think about investing in a sports bra, or at least something to bind them bitches back, because those tight-fitting shirts definitely do make you look quite busty. And I don't mean that in a good way, because you're not supposed to be busty as a male-style human being.
Right? Oh, and you could see, oh, look, I see his nipple through the shirt. Do you really think I care about this shit?
And of course, there's the classic Cope, guys. He doesn't care. He doesn't care so much that he talks about what shirt he's wearing on every single stream. He goes out of his way to tell you what shirt he's wearing, but he doesn't care. He's talking about it right now and making it a big deal, but he doesn't care. DSP, you should care what you look like when you're on camera every single day. Your nipples should not be visible in your shirts to your audience. That is kind of unacceptable. But if you're gonna go out of your way to continuously have a face cam throughout the entire stream at all times, you should at least be some sort of flattering to look at. And I don't mean that you have to try and doll yourself up and be something that you're not, but you do have to wear clothes that are at least vaguely flattering. But instead, if you want to continue to just not care what you look like, just get rid of the face cam. It was never a necessity anyway. Or here's an idea, genius. You can just rearrange your setup to have your camera only show your face and the top of your shoulders so that people can't complain about your man boobs.
Dude, I'm 41 years old. I'm not a fucking fashion model. I'm comfortable in my body. I don't care about this stuff at all.
So according to DSP, being 41 years old is excuse enough to just dress in horrible clothing that nobody wants to see on camera every day for your audience. And if you're so comfortable in your body, DSP, then why did you even bother bringing it up at all? Because just like people who are truly happy don't have to tell everybody that they're happy, people who are truly confident in the way that they look and okay with their body don't have to tell other people that they're confident with the way they look and okay with their body. I think that it hurt your feelings when people are talking about it and saying that these clothes look unflattering. But if that's the case, the answer isn't to complain to everybody on the internet that they said mean things to you and that you're actually totally okay with it. The answer is to actually do something about it. Either change clothes, get better clothes that fit you properly, or turn the camera off or reposition it so this isn't a problem anymore. And do you remember when he said that he bought these clothes because he wasn't on camera and he didn't care how he looked and it was just so that he could be comfortable? Now he's older and he is on camera, but it still doesn't matter to him and he's just trying to be comfortable. So what was even the point of saying that it was because he wasn't on camera?
I care about comfort. I have these clothes that I've had for a decade, literally not worn, right? I want to wear the clothes that are comfy and warm because I bought them, right? Why do I give a shit about how I appear? I'm not trying to be a model for you. You understand? I'm just like you.
No, DSP, but that's the thing though. You're not just like everybody else. You're not just like us because we do not have a face cam all day long. We are not visible to an audience of people on the internet all day long. I can't have any issue with anybody if they want to make their content while sitting around in their PJs. The only thing that I can ask is that they don't turn their webcam on and let everybody know. It just makes you look like a slob, like you don't actually care enough about your content to get dressed. And in that same vein, DSP, I don't care what clothes that you want to wear that you find comfortable. That's totally acceptable and fine. Just don't have your camera on if it's gonna accentuate your tits. Because just like in real life, I'm not interested in another man accentuating his bust for people to look at. And I don't think that's exactly a hot take to have.
I'm a gamer. I'm playing games. I'm trying to enjoy and be comfortable in my own skin and in my own home when I'm playing these games. The people who say shit like that about someone's physical appearance are fucking weirdos. If I'm okay with my own physical appearance, right? I'm totally fine with it. Why wouldn't other people? Why are people so weird and obsessing over it?
Because it's a piece of your content. You should be attempting to make every single piece of your content the best that it possibly can be. And if people are giving you the critique and criticism that they don't like the way that your clothes are fitting you, they don't like your appearance, you either need to do something about the clothes or you need to do something about your camera. Or you could do something about having man boobs in the first place. But I don't think that that's something that you're gonna even look into at all. But like I said, it's not like a face cam is an absolute necessity for your content anyway, DSP. In fact, it would probably be made better. Then people couldn't make fun of you swaying. They couldn't make fun of your hairline or your new haircut or your patchy goatee or your terrible clothes. They couldn't make fun of you picking your earwax and wiping it on your jammies. They couldn't make fun of you picking at your nose all day. So actually, I'm starting to think that maybe we should just get rid of the camera altogether. Actually, completely scratch that because I need to see you chew your water. That's like my favorite part.
Because they're the ones that are fucked in the head. They're just weirdos. They have weird, perverted, disgusting thoughts. And they should, you know, they should be fucking chastised for that, you know, rather than say, oh yeah, let's make fun. What are you making fun of? I'm a normal dude with a normal build, right? No, I'm not skinny, but I'm also not fat. I got like kind of a mid build.
I would definitely not call what you have going on there exactly a normal build. In fact, somebody left a comment on my video recently, and I believe that they were quoting Lefty when they said it. You were simultaneously suffering from atrophy and obesity at the exact same time. And I can't think of anybody off the top of my head who has a similar build to you at all. I mean, I did already compare his bust size to Christian, so I guess that's one comparison there.
I've actually lost a lot of weight in the last 2-3 years. I lost like 20 pounds. I used to be around 220, 230. I'm up 200 pounds now. And I fluctuate between like 195 to a little over 200. That's my average body weight now. What am I ashamed of? I'm not ashamed at all. I don't fucking care, right? So why do you?
Hey, did you guys know that DSP doesn't care? Did he tell you that? Is this bit unfunny yet?
People are just fucking really weird. Again, these people who obsess about me over the internet have fucking problems in their head that they obsess over this shit. They really are the oddest, most disgusting fucking people out there, and they need mental help.
God, I can't stand when he says that other people need some sort of intervention or mental help or the white coats to come get them or them to be locked away for insanity just because they like to bully him. It's such a cringe thing to say. Like, no, DSP, people aren't mentally unwell just because they like to make fun of you. They like to poke fun at you. They like to call you ugly and say your clothes look bad. Believe it or not, DSP, this is how normal people react to each other in real life. If people don't like something about you, sometimes they let you know. And when someone like you exists in real life, DSP, they get the same kind of ridicule and critiques that you do. The only difference is yours is on a larger scale because you broadcast your entire life on the internet.
To think about that, who cares about me in this shirt right now? But there's people actually commenting about it in the chat and shit. It's like, what are you, a fucking loser? Who the fuck cares? It's a sweater. It's comfy. What? I'm not fucking a runway model here for you. I don't do makeup on my fucking face. I don't care. You shouldn't either. You're a weirdo if you do. You really are weird. You need help. You should speak to someone about that. Maybe a friend, a relative, or maybe even a professional. If you care about how the streamer is wearing a shirt on a fucking stream, you need help. Okay.
But that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at these two smaller segments with me, and hopefully you also enjoyed not having to talk about the documentary or some sort of YouTube drama for the third day in a row. I know we kind of talked about Scott the Woz a little bit, but that was totally unrelated, I promise. But of course, another big shout out to Snort Hogan for both the clips in this video. I really do appreciate it, brother. Thank you, thank you. You guys definitely need to go check out Snort Hogan to check out all of the clips that I don't wind up covering. And of course, a big shout out to all of you guys for watching the video, especially if you made it this far. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll catch all of you guys in the next video, but until then, make sure that you check out other detractor channels and dive deeper into that Snortex.